Hello and welcome to the SA Sports Show. My name is Dave Webb. We are at the wonderful Alberton Oval. I'm joined by Marlon Motlop, the head coach of the Australian AFL Academy. Marlon, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and you're the head coach of the Australian AFL Academy. Just talk to me a little bit about what that is.
Yep, so our Aboriginal AFL Academy is, I guess, an elite football program. It's made up of 37 Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander high school students, so year 11 and 12s. Who are currently obviously completing school, but I guess while it is an elite football academy where they get to come to an elite training facility and experience an AFL like training facilities and a schedule, there's a big focus of education. So this year we're completing a Cert 3 in fitness. So on completion, all of our students will graduate with a Cert 3 in fitness. And also the experience and knowledge that they've built up, through our program and within the Alan Scott facilities.
So how do you get the people into the academy? How if people are watching, how do they get into it?
Yep. So we run trials at the end of every year. So our next trials will be through November. We're yet to lock them in, but last year we had 75 applicants come to Alberton Oval and try out. It's pretty much we run through just some games and stuff like that, and ask them a few questions and run a few mix and match games, and I guess just get to know the kids a little bit, get to know what their aspirations are, what their ambitions are in terms of football, and then we narrow that down to about 37. So we're looking to, as I said, we had 75 applicants last year. We're looking to get about 70 to 80 this year. So every year it sort of snowballs and it gets a lot bigger, and the community get a lot more excited about it as well.
So out of those 37, how many normally go and make it into the big show?
I guess it's averaging out to about one a year. We've had past graduates, Wayne Malera, Brandon Parfitt, Kim LeBoyce, Tyson Stengels as well. They've all graduated through this program, so we've got a pretty young squad this year. So whether we get someone through the doors this year, that's yet to be told, I guess. But we'll look to next year, and I think next year will be a big year for a few guys in the Aboriginal AFL Academy.
So is there anyone we should keep an eye on? Have you got a tip for someone you think might make it?
Yeah, I suppose you guys have heard plenty about Isaac Rankin, who currently plays at West Adelaide. He's probably the one that stands out. I guess he could be playing AFL football now if he was old enough, but I guess he's got to wait his time and be a bit patient. So he's got a very important 12 months ahead of him. I guess from our perspective, I guess it's what we can do over the next 12 months to get him mentally prepared for AFL football. So the more time he can spend within our facilities, and I guess the more knowledge he can get and preparation he can get before going into meetings. A lot of football clubs now are filled with a lot of meetings and reviews and stuff like that. So I guess we're just trying to introduce him to all of that stuff as we are to all of the kids.
And I know that basically all of the kids who have come into this, their goal will be to go and get into the AFL, and obviously you got the SANFL a step down for that. But we were talking before this, and the most important thing is getting them into tertiary education or a job. What's your percentage like on that? How successful are you actually being?
Yeah, so we look at, obviously it's a football academy, as I said, but our focus is for our students to go on after school and go into tertiary studies or employment. So I think we've put through well over 84 students into employment or tertiary education since the start of the year. That's across not only the Aboriginal AFL Academy, but through the Aboriginal Power Cup and our Willpower program as well. So we've had great success with that. In terms of the AFL Academy, we're now seeing our year 12 guys develop the ability to facilitate their own sessions and go into schools or run football clinics. So we're now using them on our programs like our Willpower program within the Port Adelaide Football Club, and they're coming out to the communities, out to the lands, APY lands up into the Barkly region, and our year 12 kids are now facilitating these sessions. So that's showing real growth, I guess, and to see young Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander high school students, to be able to facilitate an Aboriginal program is pretty special.
And I suppose a massive thing, obviously the likes of Paddy Ryder and Chad Wingard are massive role models for these Indigenous kids. And when you go out to the APY lands and the more remote areas of South Australia, you take them with you. And do you bring people from the remote areas of Australia, do you bring them down to the academy?
Yep, so with all the communities that we service through the Willpower program, the Aboriginal AFL Academy and the Aboriginal Power Cup, the communities will come down for the carnival in the Aboriginal Power Cup, and also we'll get, we usually get about 2 or 3 every year as a part of our Aboriginal AFL Academy. So while our objective isn't to pull people away from their communities, sometimes the reality is for opportunities, for educational opportunities or employment opportunities, they might have to come into the metropolitan areas for a certain amount of time. And I guess our plan is for them to develop as much as they can and then one day go back to the community and take what they've learnt back. So we think we're on the right track to achieving that.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. How many of these kids come from them communities and then go back and can then just start spreading the word and act as ambassadors for this program in the all year round? Yeah,
we're seeing a lot. A lot of our graduates go back to communities now. We've just had one who finished the Aboriginal AFL Academy and he's gone back home, back to his community, and he'll go back with his personal training certificate and a coaching certificate as well. So he can get involved in his football side and the community carnivals and stuff like that, and hopefully help out at the school. So he's, I guess he's pretty much work ready to go into a school and facilitate, sporting classes and facilitate football clinics and stuff like that. So we're seeing a lot of kids head back to communities with a lot better skills and a bigger toolkit these days.
And I know you're a footballer, but surely the development of these kids and getting them into employment and getting them back into the community, that must be better than winning a flag sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think while we are a football club and while it is a football program, the Aboriginal AFL Academy, I guess I get my kick out of seeing young men develop, and I get my kick out of seeing young men go back to their communities and take what they've learnt and grow and become leaders in their communities. And I guess if we can win a premiership and win a flag and all the other stuff, that's just a bonus.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Marlon Motlop, coach of the Australian AFL Academy. We'll hand it back to the guys in the studio.